We have now interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you.
All right, welcome back to another edition of the Warheads. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Roscoe. What's up?
OG Zoe, what's up?
Of course, I'm Apocalypto. Guys, within the last week or so, the actor Darius McCrary, we know him as Eddie Winslow. Has he been in anything else? He's been
Probably
in some B movies.
Yeah, some B movies and stuff. He's been in some smaller stuff.
Yeah, I think he's in a lot of shows now.
Yeah,
he was in like The Resident and some other stuff.
Yeah, but we know him mostly from the 90s sitcom Family Matters, when he played Eddie Winslow.
Right.
But within the last week, at first, there was some speculation, some rumor that he was messing around with the transgender reality star, Sydney Star. He denied it. He went out on a lunch date with the woman that played his mother on the show. And, they kind of talked about the rumor, how his girlfriend, his fiance wouldn't like those rumors per se. And so, initially, me and Roscoe, we talked about this. And since he was denying it, we gave him the benefit of the doubt. Well, as you can see, the lies, the deception, the less than truthfulness that came out of this man's mouth. As you can see on the photo behind me, he was actually busting slobs with Sydney Star. And ain't nothing wrong with that if that's how you choose to get down. But we want to have a discussion about living in your truth. We live in a time where transgender people are coming out in numbers, and they're looking for acceptance in society. And we actually did a show about this earlier in the year about Laverne Cox and how she, or I don't know what the how to describe him.
Go down for it. Yeah, we'll find out.
To describe Laverne Cox, but Laverne Cox was saying how heterosexual men, they're weak if they don't date trans women. Now, you shouldn't be shamed into dating anybody that you don't want to date. However, I came across some information as I was scrolling through the gram by a person named Betty Fire, also known as Sick Molly. And she talks about, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but she talks about how to trick a straight man into having sex with a trans woman. And it's actually called stealth sex. Now, before I read this, I want to get you guys' take on this Eddie Winslow situation, because this is some crazy stuff, but I'm going to get into this later. Go in, Warheads.
All right. Before I start, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the hip hop advocates. I want to say, go check them out on YouTube and all that good stuff. They got a good show talking about hip hop. So go check out the hip hop advocates. Now, with that being said, I want to go into this by saying that, like Joe said, we had a conversation about this situation beforehand. And I told Apocalypto when we were having this conversation that there is more to this story than what meets the eye. And that's before, the part of this photo shoot or what have you would come out with them kissing, because beforehand, all we were privy to was just the photo shoot with them and the suggestive poses and what have you. And, Eddie is saying we're just friends. And me and Joe were having a nice little debate about that. But I also went on to say that there's going to be some more to come of this. And voila. Looky, these dudes, and when you talk about like living your truth, I think this is something that should be brought to the table, because Eddie, his real name is Darius, but Darius would be just like a lot of men in this society who apparently aren't living their truth, who they build families, build whole legacies, you know, with and family, build whole legacies with a family, you know. And so you have all this happening, and these men aren't happy doing what they doing apparently, while living this life over here with white picket fences and all that good stuff, because they secretly want to do this other stuff with the Sydney Stars of the world. So when you talk about just living your truth, I think these men should really just come out and just say what it is that they want to do. After that fact, it's kind of no harm, no foul. Nobody cares if you just come out and say, hey, this is what I am, this is what I like to do. But when you being deceptive and kind of living in this shrouded reality, and he got his wife over here looking like Boo Boo the Fool because she trying to defend him, you know. But yeah, here we are kissing Sydney. So that's just my whole take. But you can go ahead. So.
Oh no, it's weird. I mean, you know, whatever you do, you do. You only you have to answer to what you do at the end. So, I mean, that's really what it gets down to. But there's a lot of these transformers that clip themselves to celebrities that, even if it's just for a couple, you know, to start a rumor so they can be publicized, get some notoriety. I mean, I think there were some things that she lied about, even because she got caught with Chingy and ended his career. So, I mean, maybe that's what Darius is looking at, you know. But I don't know. It's a weird. I mean, like, live your truth, but don't get mad when other people live your truth and you guys don't have the same truths. Like, I mean, if you want people to be open to what you have to be open to what's been the norm. So I don't know. You can't just come in and take over. It has to be some type of middle ground, because, like I said, what you do in your life and how you live your truth, only you have to deal with that at the end. But don't make it hard for everybody to just live their truth because it doesn't align with yours.
Yeah, I will say this. When it comes down to this so-called living your truth, the reason this is harmful is because it goes all the way back to down low culture. Cheating in and of itself is bad. It's poor character. You don't have to cheat. He was trying to hide this whole situation. This man is married. As I looked into his history, he married some woman named Juliette Van from 2005 to 2006. That went fast. He was married to Corinne Steffens. Everybody knows Corinne Steffens, aka Superhead. And he married some woman named Tammy Bronner in 2014. But I'll say this, just him marrying Corinne Steffens shows that this man has a poor judgment, very poor judgment. Corinne Steffens, we know she wrote the book about all the hip hop artists and stuff, who she slept with, you know, she kissed and then she told. And this is the woman that he chose to take marriage vows with. I also remember during that time, Corinne, you know, not only was she Superhead, because everybody can say, you know, this woman, she slept around, yada, yada, yada. But she also showed poor character because Bobby Brown was her friend. And at the time, Bobby was going through some hard times. Corinne took it upon herself to videotape Bobby talking stuff about him. This is somebody Bobby trusted, you know, when he was down and out, to, you know, crash at her place. And she just used it as an opportunity to be an opportunist.
But be very, very quiet. Yeah, that has got to be the sickest fucking shit on the planet.
To air out a man who viewed her as a friend and show that he was going through hard times. And so this is the woman that Darius McCrary chose to throw his lot in with. And so we can see that this man, he just has poor judgment in the women or the men, the trans women that he chooses to deal with. Like Zoe brought out, Sydney Starr aired out Chingy. And so I just want to have this conversation because when you're cheating, down low culture brings about, STDs, your character is just dragged through the mud and it's totally not necessary. If you like bussy, then go get some bussy.
Yeah. No, I think Zoe brought out the flip side of this for real. There's one side where, there's guys who are pursuing these people, but there's also, these people, these transgender people who are trying to entrap these guys. So like Zoe said, they are kind of throwing themselves in situations where they'll be around some of these famous people and, take pictures, maybe sometimes suggestive, pictures with these people. So yeah, they putting themselves in position to where they can be able to sometimes even blackmail, some of these guys into a relationship, if you will, or a situation. So, yeah, it's crazy to me. But I also think about, this may be just a thing for guys who are in Hollywood, because there is, if you look at it, Joe, there's a little bit of a evolution to the type of women that this guy Darius McCrary would mess with. If you really look at it, he starts out with what I'm assuming is just your normal regular chick, and then he escalates to superhead, and then he elevates past that, to Sydney Starr. So maybe he's one of these dudes like. It's just like with Diddy and some of the things he's been accused of, of just you can't, there's always another level to this shit that you haven't reached. I've had sex with these X amount of women, the most beautiful women out here, like, and you can say the same for Baby too, because he's been accused of the same thing. When you've had all of the most beautiful women and all this other stuff, where's the next step after that for guys like them? It's bussy. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a elevation, if you will, like I said, and maybe this is the thing for him. He's just on that Hollywood stuff and just taking it to that next level.
So
I mean, yes and no. You can, because he might be more influenced now than ever to do this. I mean, this could be a rise in his career, like you said. We haven't really seen him in anything other than shows, so he could, what is it, get down or stay down? Like, it's just whatever. It's like, yeah, he's rolling with the times, and he got caught. Literally, because I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Then I seen the pic, and I'm like, "Is that your friend? You don't have your hand," especially knowing. Yeah, it's all layered. But I don't know. It's just, yeah, he got caught, and now he has. I mean, this probably could be the end of his shit if he doesn't handle it right. He could lose it, because mental illness is real, and he's suffering from something. He's searching because. Huh? What is
he gonna lose? He ain't got.
If he didn't want anything to come out, he could do anything. He could do the ultimate price, and that's what I'm saying. Is yeah, it's sad because like he's missing something in his life. He's not being true to himself, so he's never gonna be happy. It's like why women get plastic surgery and they're never happy. They still want to go bigger, or they're never fully happy because it's not real the way that they want to look, and it's really what it is it's not aligning with how he wants to be, but he's not living his truth. So it's crazy because I don't know. But then you could have it on the part where, like the Sydney, just could be attaching herself to it, making it worse for somebody that's already down.
Well, I'll say this. Zoe wants to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to doubt the benefit of any of these interactions. And I'll tell you why. Maybe his wife, like you said, this might destroy him. He doesn't have much of a career in film and movies right now, nothing that's big. He's probably C-list, D-list, I don't know. And I'm not saying that to rag on the brother. I don't have a movie career at all. However, did his wife know about this? And if she did, is his wife just a beard? I'm just speculating. A lot of people have beards, but to something that Roscoe was saying, that this might be a Hollywood thing, no, I have a real close friend. And she tells me about how when she was married, how her husband at the time started to experiment with stuff like this. With stuff like this. And so whenever I think about situations like what Darius did, just going out of his way to lie, he would have been better off not saying anything, especially since he knew he was in a room full of cameras on the very day that this particular photo was taken. Look at that. His tongue is all down Sydney's throat. Look at him. Sydney probably got what he had for breakfast that morning in his mouth or her mouth. I don't know what to call him. However, going back to the Laverne Cox story that we did previously and referencing that post that I made mention of at the beginning of this broadcast, it's called stealth sex. And maybe men are getting turned out by having stealth sex with transsexuals. We know that a lot of transsexuals don't even like other gay men or of their gender. But I want to read this and just to put men on notice what's going on out here and how you have to be very thorough and examine these people. Like people, they just don't have any boundaries anymore. You know, the reason why they're doing this stuff is because they lack the ability to self-soothe. When you can self-soothe, you don't have to seek all these sexual encounters with people you don't know. But let me read this. It goes down the list. It says, oh my God, here we go. 1, be sure to lubricate first. Use a fragrance-free one and be sure to dilute it 1 hour prior, since you'll be tight at the 4-month mark.
Hear this.
And I repeat, do not let him go down or he will clock you. I had plenty of stealth sex, and I can assure you men want to go down. Who wants to go down on somebody they just met? I don't know. Also,
you don't even know.
Also, no fingering. Say you had an irritation or something. 3, depth. I don't know your depth, but usually men can right away sense something is off, like a wall at the end. If this is your case, tell you, and this is written really improperly, tell you have a diaphragm. 4, position. Since you didn't had sex, you probably don't know your best position yet. From behind is usually the best, but if you're uncomfortable at him looking close, go missionary. 5, most important, take command. Since it's your first time, you probably don't know, but men are really pushy. He will want to touch you there. He will want to finger you, and rest sure he will bang the out of you. So take command, control the whole thing, and never let him go crazy. Keep a pepper spray in your bag every time. If things go downhill, never disclose who you are. Never. If he noticed something is wrong, say you had surgery to fix some kind of problem down there. It's about bullshit.
Oh my God.
What type of list is that, bro?
That sounds like a list to be a secret agent. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's some crazy shit. I'm really wondering, are women writing out these type of lists to themselves?
Man,
or
when
to
you're
other
doing
women,
somebody
I don't know.
wrong, you know it, you have to come prepared, and that's really what it is, man. When you're doing somebody wrong, and you know it, you have to come prepared, and that's why the first rule was he will sock you.
Yeah, no. How about you just don't do the wrong thing?
How would you
about
just
that?
be honest if that's what you want? Like if that's really what he wants, then he would like. That shit is crazy.
No, I'm really, you know, and you know, it is crazy. So you know, when you think about it, but this is just crazy in general. Darius, like we said, he should be living his truth for real. Guys like him, they should be living his truth. Put this stuff out there because living these shrouded lives, you know, these down low lives. And, you know, I don't know what Darius considers himself. You know what I mean? If he's really looking at himself and saying, I'm a heterosexual straight man, I have a fiance and all this good stuff, but you got all this weirdness over here on the other side of you. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think about his wife, how she's looking at him, how other people are looking at him, the wives of guys who are just like this around the world. You know what I mean? They wives have some inkling that something.
I was gonna say she has to know though.
Yeah.
A lot of times the wives already know. She's comfortable. She don't have to do nothing. She gets to do her.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy, and that's, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe that's what helped spread AIDS so fast. Is all this
stealth sex. I think.
Yeah,
I think Zoe is right because I think about Laverne Cox's character on Orange is the New Black. In the very first season, he was married to a woman, and he was going back and forth, cross-dressing and stuff. But when he decided to go full on tranny, it's something very specific that his wife says, and this is just a TV show, but as we always say, art imitates life. She asks him, can he at least keep the penis? Not, I'm gonna leave you for a real man, a man who wants to be a man. She asks him, can you at least keep the penis? So I think a lot of these wives do know. And that's why I said earlier, his wife may just be a beard. We don't know what the hell is going on out here. All I say is this. Just be honest. Accept who you are. Stop all this stealth sex. This is some nonsense, man. This world is full of wicked and evil people, man. I don't even know if I want to be here anymore. At any rate, until I decide to vacate the planet Earth, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Warheads out.
crazy ass world.
Yes, indeed.